What was that great idea that they know Yeah, like if you touch somebody, it make it better. But it came on.
In 1896, a group of seniors realized that some of their junior friends were not going to be able to come back to the campus to finish their degrees because they didn't have the funds to pay the tuition. So that group of seniors decided that they would organize a big production, and they did that by class, and each class did a musical production, and they sold tickets all over the community, and they had a big fundraiser, and it worked, and they were able to give scholarships to those juniors who were able to come back, and it just kept going from there, and it has been going ever since. So if my math is right, that's 112 years.
This is something that brings the students together, even though you're competing against each other, but it brings your class together. If you can't be on stage, you can paint a backdrop. If you can't paint a backdrop, you can gather props or costumes. And then in those days, we practiced for 6 weeks. So why we didn't all flunk out of school, I don't know, because we were painting backdrops, learning dances, doing all kinds of things. I don't see how you do it now in 3 weeks, or 2.5 weeks, really. Secrecy was big. I mean, we'd have tryouts. They'd read STUNT one night, and you'd have tryouts, and then the next day, the list of characters, people who'd gotten parts would be posted, but not what part. And we used to paint backdrops and props and everything in the study parlors. We didn't have spaces and rooms around on campus like you have now. And so you would paste paper over the glass doors so nobody could see in and nobody talked. And we did our rehearsals over in the gym at night. And I don't care if it was freezing cold or raining. The 2 classes coming in at 9 o'clock had to wait outside until the others left so nobody would know what was going on. A lot of secrecy going on.
Our sophomore stunt won the Stunt Cup. It was set in Tombstone, Arizona, and it was a council of undertakers. It was a convention of undertakers, and it was basically poking fun at the excesses of the funeral home industry, you know, making people buy real expensive caskets and makeup and all that, and it was just hilarious and off the wall, as you can imagine, and sort of a strange topic.
STUNT gives you an opportunity to give women who may not be stellar in the classroom or key leaders on campus, but they have an opportunity to shine. I learned that I could do anything after coordinating STUNT. You just really learn that there's a giant problem and it's coming, and the best you can do is to be prepared for it, to be organized, to be responsible, and then to just smile and nod when things go badly. And so I think that's what I learned. Is that STUNT really gave me the confidence to try difficult, kind of complicated things. And I think it offers a lot of women that same sort of confidence.
One of the things I think that it teaches students is the magic of theater. There's this saying in the theater that somehow it all comes together on opening night. Somehow, a kind of magic happens, even if it's really looking terrible right before. Somehow when you get an audience, the audience brings something to the show that makes magic happen.
And also, one of the weird things about stunt is the fact that what you're looking at on Monday night is not what you're going to see on Saturday. Fear does wonderful things to a committee and to a stunt. Back in the 80s, there was one in which, by coincidence maybe, I think about half of the senior class were all getting married almost as soon as stunt wrapped up. I mean, as soon as their senior year wrapped up. And so their stunt was about weddings. And they did this beautiful, beautiful, full-size Gothic Catholic church altar section with stained glass windows and everything. And it was so good that actually the theater, this was before I was working here, the theater department actually bought it from the senior class. And they kept it for about 25 years.
Each year, the stunt commission or one of the stunt boards, whatever, goes out in the community and finds 5 judges. I think they're mainly different judges each year, but there's a sheet that has what class it is, what category. For example, there's unity, continuity, originality, creativity, backdrop, music, etc. And there's a total number of points, and they will write how many points out of, let's say, 25 points for creativity, how many each class gets. I think the judges are pretty much unpredictable. I think it's sort of like American Idol. You know, it's good theater to have sort of 3 different opinions. You know, but Simon's always going to say it's bad, and Paula's always going to say it's great. What appeals to one judge won't appeal to another judge. So.
I think stunt really embodies what Wesleyan offers to young women in terms of, here's a chance to be real. You are fully responsible for making this gigantic event come to fruition well, and here's your part in it. And you've got to collaborate with all these other people. And so I think that opportunity to be responsible and to collaborate with something that stretches you beyond your comfort zone is what I think stunt represents best about Wesleyan's community.
How are you doing? Welcome to Stunt 2008. I hope you enjoy the show.
Stunt is where you make friends, and stunt is where you lose friends. And that sounds harsh, but it is true, because it is so stressful that you really do learn a lot more about people and their personalities and how they deal with stress. And people don't always deal very well.